At the face-off stripe, couple of beasts. Nick Rowlett for the Chaos, brother of Jack, and Mike Sisselberger for the Archers. Archers first placed in the West by record and score differential. Chaos trying to respond after they lost to the Redwoods in San Diego last week, 10-8. Troy Ray can't control it along the end line. It'll be Utah ball to start.
You know, this is a tough way to start. Nick Rowlett gets the face-off win, but can't corral the ball, and it looks like the Chaos are putting two defensive players on the wings, thinking more defense and hedging Sisselberger from Utah winning the draw.
They've been last as a team in face-off percentage this season. So they're accustomed to having a possession differential.
There's Mac O'Keefe, goes to the right hand. It's kicked away by Rowlett. Not sure he even saw it, but picked up by Zach Geddes, one of those short stick D middies for Carolina.
Rarely see Mac O'Keefe drive with his right hand. I was like, that's his right-handed release? That's what it looks like.
Gentlemen, one thing to watch early in this game. Archers coming off a bye week. They didn't play last weekend in San Diego. And last night, their practice canceled because of lightning. So a slow start would not surprise me for the guys in orange.
Yeah, weather was crazy yesterday. Second game was canceled late in the third quarter. Like a tornado here with a thunderstorm. Goals were blowing around everywhere. Some trees were split.
100-pound goals moved like 15 yards because of that wind.
It was raining sideways. So far, so good here today. Hoping to get 2 games in, including 3 o'clock Eastern over on ABC. There's Ament with the shot. Fields on the backup.
And Quint, just to build on your point, even their last game against the Redwoods was an 18-8 win. So even their last competitive game, and then going against the Chaos, I mean, Chaos lead this series all-time 7-4. So they're not afraid of this Archers team and offense at all.
Some teams just match up, right?
Yeah.
Chaos can't solve the Water Dogs. They could solve Utah.
Here's Schreiber against a shorty. Good feed, Leclerc, and there's Big Blaze with the stop. And here comes Reardon, who plays forward in box lacrosse.
Here he goes.
Oh, man.
Go get
so
it.
skilled goalie.
Go.
Offensively in the leg. He scores. Big Blaze all the way.
Thank you, Blaze. That's another magical moment. We've seen it before. We're seeing it again. Yes, Blaze.
Give the people what they want. You know, when he made this save, Drew, I was going to be like, well, the Chaos, they need more in transition. Didn't know Carc that he was going to take matters in his own hands.
This is incredible. In 2015, I called a game up in Ithaca, New York. First round, Blaze Reardon playing for Albany and Scott Marr. Against Cornell, went coast to coast and stuck it. It's one of the most memorable goaltending goals I've ever seen in my life. Today, he does it as a pro.
His first goal as a pro, and they take that ball, and Austin Kaut, the backup, wraps it up on the sideline.
I met a young man yesterday named Alex. He plays goalie. He's from Pittsburgh. Plays on his U12 team, wearing a Blaze Reardon jersey. It's his favorite player. That's the signature he wanted this weekend. It's because of plays like that.
And that immediately vaults to one of the top goals of the year. I know you guys did a top 10 yesterday.
Yeah.
Where would that have, I mean, right up near the top, no?
Has to. Carc, you mentioned the goal he scored in college in the tournament. I still watch that play every year.
All the time, right?
Oh,
it was coast to coast with the big sweatpants.
That's ridiculous. What a start to this Sunday.
You're good. Blaze played midfield on extra man in high school. Scott Marr of Albany, first time he saw him, he was top of the power play.
Oh, and another highlight, Kyle Jackson. I mean, we're 3 minutes in. We got a goalie goal, and then Jackson hits the deck and scores.
This is a great start if you're a Chaos fan. You know, Kyle Jackson coming in today, shooting 36%. So ultra efficient when he gets his looks. It's just a matter of getting to the middle of the field there. He does a little kind of rocker step hesitation on Marr.
And the pop, right?
Yeah.
Right when he's about to shoot, you feel like he pops away from defensive pressure. That's really hard to do, Ryan, to shoot off your back foot Yes, you're away from that defensive pressure and contact, but you have no leverage. It shows you his strength with his wrists.
When he was playing at Michigan, he was the weight room warrior for the Wolverines, even at just 5'9".
I like this double pole technique they're using off the face-off to try to create a little bit more havoc, get their playmakers involved as much as possible.
Energy differential is real and palpable, all for the Chaos right now.
Starts with our head coach, Andy Towers. That's Kurtz on the shot from top of the arc. Clark mentioned he's in there for the injured Jules Henningberg. That's a shot clock reset to 32. Carolina's offense has been quiet lately. They haven't scored more than 10 points since week 2 on their homecoming weekend in Charlotte. There's Byrne, a foot inside the arc. 3-zip, Carolina.
This is big for Josh Byrne. His first 4 games this season, he was 5 for 20. His last 3, only 2 for 20. But today, he becomes his natural goal scorer. He's passing the best he has in his career. More assists in 2024 than any PLL season. The problem, Ryan, is he's a goal scorer. His DNA is a goal-scoring attackman. And the more that Andy Towers can get him in those spots, the better this offense is.
Yeah, you just look at the evolution of this team offensively and the new personnel that they brought in via free agency and via the draft. And that's fine, but I feel like they've just gotten away from Josh Byrne in some of that evolution.
Yes, and I love him as a passer, and he's showing you that his game has become complete. But at the end of the day, he's like a lefty bona fide goal scorer.
Sisselberger tried to take it himself. Blaze with the save. Here comes Will Bowen. Chaos have scored 3 goals in the last 2 minutes. You go back to their last game in San Diego against the Woods last week. They were 1 for 14 shooting in the first quarter. They've started today 3 for 5.
Hey, look away! Yeah, I mean, to your point, Drew, the last 4, 8, 10, 6, and 7. I mean, they have been playing slugfests.
Now, the good news for them is they're on pace to have the best defensive efficiency in the history of the league. Teams are scoring at about 23% of their possessions. But eventually, this Chaos offense had to wake up, and they're doing it today. Ross Scott, the rookie, just missed on the rebound. Ball squirts outside, kept here by Carolina.
Oh, wow.
Stick breaks. You can play without it here in the PLL.
And that's a great point that you're talking about, the defensive efficiency. It just tells you if this offense can just have a little bit more life. They have the pieces defensively to be a championship team. The question is, can they get consistent scoring?
It was Graham Hosick whose stick broke, big 81 in orange and blue.
He broke it on the ball carrier's arms. Crazy.
That can't feel good, especially not from Hosick. Here's Brian Minikis. Played his college ball at Colgate and Georgetown. Some of the quickest feet in the game. Trying to attack Hosick without the stick. Now here Scott gets to the right hand and buries it. So the Chaos have taken a 4-0 lead.
You got to get a timeout if you're Archers. You got to get a timeout. We saw this yesterday. Both teams jumped out to that early lead, and they waited a hair too long to stop the bleeding. Here he aggressively attacks Hosick without a stick, moves the ball, simple pass forward to Ross Scott. Ultra quickness, love him being in front of the cage. Little left to right split and find space of that near pipe.
It's the plant foot and the deception to think that he's going to the middle of the field, but he also brings his head with him too. So the defense completely bites because of the footwork of Ross Scott, followed by his head and his shoulders leaning.
It's another Oregon guy scoring a goal here in Baltimore. Saw Sam Hanley have a hat trick yesterday. Tucker Dordovic scored for the Whips. We'll see him again later this afternoon. Ross Scott hails from West Lynn, Oregon.
This big possession here for Archers.
This is the guy they want to have it, Tom Schreiber. Captain America, reigning MVP, 4-time Middie of the Year. His pass to the rookie Dyson Williams, maybe a little too hot, and it's Chaos ball.
Archer's trying to find themselves here. Coming off the bye week, no practice yesterday, clearly rusty and a little bit of funk to start. Good news for the Chaos, that last goal was assisted. Assists have been sold separately for Carolina this summer.
Big rookie lefty Eric Dobson dispossessed by another rookie, Bo Peterson. Former Michigan Wolverine made that play, 89 in orange.
A lot of things have been sold separately for this offense. Fewest shots across the league, and 7th in two-pointers with just 5.
7th in overall scoring, too. 10.1 goals per game.
And now it's the Archers offense that's really struggling. Still stuck on 0 more than halfway through the first quarter. Here comes Ian McKay, sweeping to that left hand. Dobson makes the save, kicks it away. That's his 3rd. They start the break. John Robbins skips it outside the arc. Matt Moore, extra feed, goal line extended. What a finish for the first goal of the day. It's Mac O'Keefe.
Utah showing some life with a behind-the-back pass from Connor Fields to Mac O'Keefe. But today, it's all about a memorable moment in Baltimore. The signature goal of the weekend. Blaze Reardon closes the door defensively. It is go time. Big Blaze across the midline. Little deception, and he sticks it. Chaos and Blaze rolling.
What a player. Former MVP in 2021, and now a goal scorer in the PLL. Almost surprising it's taken him this long to score one, right, guys?
He can rip it. He warms up Austin Kaut, their backup goalie, with an attack stick, and he's got a strong chance to be on Team USA in the box game as a floor runner. So he is a talented offensive player. Is an incredible athlete to be able to do both goaltending and field.
Here comes Connor Fields with a head of steam and the finish. Nobody's going to stop that. Connor Fields had the behind-the-back assist on O'Keefe's first goal, and now he's got one of his own.
And credit to Archers for answering the bell when Chaos went up 4-0. You're going to see Fields deny that pick. So the anticipation by Newman is that Fields is going to go over the top there. He rolls back, and you need to have support. You know, I know the Chaos trust their one-on-one matchups, and Newman does a fantastic job covering lefties, but I would make Fields a passer. You know, he's got 17 goals and just 2 assists coming into today.
The problem when you're defending Connor Fields, he's so good over the top in the middle, so they're kind of hedging him, forcing him below. But that's big for Connor Fields because Newman has really defended Connor Fields well in the past. But at times, he's unguardable.
You could see that jump or that dive shot coming a mile away.
Robbins on the scoop, straight toward Blaze, who makes the save and starts the outlet with a beautiful pass.
I thought Blaze could have come out and tried to pressure Fields, or if Bowen had an opportunity, or Rowlett, to slide cross crease and just hammer.
Yeah, because
Fields.
he won that matchup in space so far away,
Yeah,
right?
like
Like there was time to adjust to slide.
You got to have a clear-cut plan against Fields. It's one way or the other. You're either letting him go topside and doubling down, or you're forcing him underneath.
Okay.
That time they forced him underneath, but there was no help. Actually, I just heard Newman said, I over-jumped it. So he was just too aggressive with his footwork on the perimeter, and he opened the door for Fields.
Numbers!
Can Chaos sustain what they've done offensively?
Oh, Kyle Jackson.
Wow.
Man, the Chaos are putting together their own highlight reel here in the first quarter. That's a couple of goals for KJ.
There's Byrne the passer. I mentioned him earlier. Career high in terms of his assists, stealing the rock. But this is a phenomenal goal by Kyle Jackson, who's a lefty running out of angle. I think he's going to go around the world at first, but it's
Filthy.
Behind his back, complete filth. Showing you that top hand, his right hand, the Canadian, his dominant hand. that is impossible to track because you think as a goalie, if you're Dobson, is he going to put it across his face for a twister? Is he going around the world? Drops it low.
Does that count as a Canadian egg roll?
No, that's
That's
not
one-handed. You got to have two hands for the egg roll.
Okay.
That's the third goal between Jackson, Byrne, and then that was Jackson from Byrne. That two-man game, in that case, it was a three-man game. That's the part of the offense that I'd like to see more of.
Q's got Kyle Jackson on the field. I mean, it's happening too fast.
Connor Fields gets underneath again. It's a carbon copy of the last goal, and Jamie Hanford and Andy Towers are going to have to iron out what they're doing defensively against Fields.
Remember, Fields was once a chaos attackman. He was ranked, after that first season in 2019, the third best player in professional lacrosse. Parted ways, went to Utah playing under Chris Bates as a midfielder, and now back to his natural attack spot. Look, the guy just has too many tricks in his bag. I always say, when you think of greatness, one word always pops with a player. For me, Connor Fields, it's instincts. Like, there's nothing planned with his game. He just rolls with, okay, you're going to overcommit, play me topside, I'm going underneath. You go underneath, I'm going to play you on the top. He has the counter for everything, and then you throw the creativity and the skills. He's a Houdini.
That's where I think you got to make him a passer when he's dodging. He's got an assist already today, but that was in transition. There you see Rowlett. He's late on that slide. But if he can't, that's a difficult pass to make.
Here's Schreiber sweeping across, rings it off the iron.
Still a shot. Still a shot.
That's
What a
Carolina
GP.
ball. Yeah, Ambler really went after it. Burns scoops it up. Now Ambler playing defense. Geddes from a sharp angle scores. Hope you took the over, folks.
What a GP, RB, by Josh Byrne.
It's the little plays. It's the ground ball here by Josh Byrne. I said still a shot, still a shot. He was right there. And then look at this little nifty pickup. The one hand to get his, really protect his stick from Hasek. And then in transition, he hits Geddes, who's running the field wisely. I love what Geddes brings to them in transition. I'd like to see them run more between him, Resch, and McKay. They all have offensive capability.
He's got crazy speed, Geddes, but I thought he was running out of angle. I was like, if you're not going to shoot this beyond the back, it's not going in, but he squeezed it past Dobson, and the passing once again from Josh Byrne. Josh Byrne, as a pro, most assists he ever had in a season was 12. He had 13 coming into this weekend after 7 weeks. Like, he is passing at an all-time high. We've seen two incredible passes in this quarter, one to Kyle Jackson and then to Geddes.
Q, who you got down there?
I got Andy Towers as he watches this defense. 2 transition goals, Coach. It's like a season's worth.
Let's hope the pattern has changed to that. Let's hope that's the case.
Late in the shot clock. Easy save for place. What's the deal with your defense on Connor Fields? What's got to change there?
Listen, Jared's got to make the adjustment. I mean, credit Connor Fields. He knows how to use his picks. He's super crafty one-on-one. You know, Jared's done a good job with him in the past, but they're two great players going head-to-head. You know, let's hope Jared wins the next battle. I'm very confident that he will.
Thank you, Coach Drew.
All right, Q, and Connor Fields also battling the goalie, Blaze Reardon. Those guys were teammates at Albany. There's Byrne with the bouncer, backed up by Carolina.
Byrne's playing with some pop, too. It just feels like aggressive to him.
And that's more that 3-man action between him, Jackson, and McKay, who stayed on.
Well, they'll do it on both sides, too.
It's more effective on that left side.
the natural left
and they're Canadian.
Yeah.
That's chaos lacrosse in a nutshell.
Yeah, they used to, their whole offense was built on lefts and rights.
Yep.
They brought in a lot of new guys, but that left side between Jackson and Byrne is still intact. That action they wanted.
Gotten a little more American over the last couple of years, as Andy Towers has described it. That'll be a shot clock violation. So the shot clock is off for Utah. Bounce back after allowing the first 4 goals, including a goalie goal by Big Blaze.
Yeah, you look at that goal, it's like I feel like we shortchanged Kyle Jackson. Like,
I know.
Should be like the goal of the weekend.
I know,
Sorry, dude.
Yeah. He scored that. We're like, nice goal. Little golf clap.
Yeah,
well done. Well done.
Take it up with his teammate. 20 seconds left. Fields. They do make him a passer. Oh, Keith. Oh, man.
Now what do you do, Ryan? He's passing. What do you do? Slide to him, you show, gets teammates involved. This guy is off to something. We saw him with the most memorable goal of the season up in Boston when he went between his legs, but he's shown you that he's way more than just a goal scorer. The creativity and awareness to get to the goal line and then see the pressure from the defense, almost toying with them.
Yeah, but this is about Mac O'Keefe, no? I mean, it's a good
He doesn't
feed.
get that goal unless he understands where the pressure's coming from.
Plant foot right there, then he
it's
goes
fantastic.
underneath, toe drag, and then gets hit as he delivers. Like, that's a ridiculous goal by O'Keefe. It's a great feed by Fields, no doubt. But that finish by O'Keefe.
I'm with you. It's just that we're up in the booth saying, let's slide to Connor Fields. Well, if you show early, he's going to do that.
Fields has had a hand in all 4 goals. He scored 2. He's assisted on O'Keefe's 2. And as the ball trickles toward the sideline, it'll take us to the end of the first quarter.
I think what Connor Fields is doing, too, he's smart. He's not getting into the body of Jared Newman. When you get into the body of Jared Newman, he can kind of swallow you. He's playing more of a space game.
He's playing a masterful first quarter. 4 points already. Creating his own shot, distributing it. But the story of the first quarter is the goalie goal. Blaze Reardon going coast to coast. He started it. Chaos kept it rolling.
Guys are with each other, too. They were teammates at Albany. Connor Fields and Blaze Reardon played for Scott Marr. They overlapped for 2 years. And Connor Fields played a lot of midfield during that time, too, where you're seeing that comparison. Now he's back at attack. He's got to deal with his old teammate. And Fields has been a storyline in terms of the way that this offense is working. And the question is Newman the right matchup moving forward?
And also, you look at 4 for 5 shooting. I mean, where have those shots come from? I mean, those have been right on the doorstep. Multiple diving attempts into the crease.
And if you watch the other side of the field, when the Chaos have the ball on offense, Fields and Blaze are always talking. Connor is right outside the crease talking with his old Albany teammate.
Yeah, nothing but respect, but Chaos scoring 6 goals in that first quarter. That's the most they've scored in the first quarter of the entire season. So they're off to a great start.
A few games ago, that's what they had for the entire game.
Dobson makes that save, which resets the shot clock. There you see in the bottom right, Fields and Blaze, 2 of the best players in the league. And what a first quarter, folks. If you're just joining us, I mean, there was a goalie goal, there was a behind the back worm burner goal from Kyle Jackson with his offhand. Fields had 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists. So Keith had a couple of highlights. Hot start to this Sunday. Archers collapse. Take it away.
Thought
4
Dobson
turnovers
could
for
have shot
Carolina.
that earlier.
Dobson, the rookie out of Notre Dame. 6'5" lefty. A pole goal for Utah. And it's the rookie, Mason Woodward, with his first career professional goal.
And this is a ton of faith in transition. You know, this is not normally a situation where he's left all by himself on the crease. In transition, you crash the crease. Woodward's been right in the middle. Matt Moore kind of forces it in there. He's got 2 pulls down there, actually. I mean, Woodward's got some area, but he's getting hacked all over by Rowlett and company.
Showed a lot of skill, too. If you watch the rookie in college at Marquette, played a ton of wings on the face-offs, but in transition, he stayed on, too, shot the ball a lot. You see how comfortable he is in the offensive set, and then the faith of Coach Bates to say, okay, Rook, you can stay on.
My mistake, Mason. That's his 2nd goal of his rookie season. Playing defense, first-round pick out of Marquette, 8th overall.
You know, I think a player like that that's asked to do so much with his college team, it's an easier transition for him because he's a pole that's played everywhere on the field.
Nasty stick, great off the ground. A Baltimore product, and that's why he's got that big cheering section here.
Driver Turn and fire. Ties the game at 6. Welcome to the chat, reigning MVP.
You like corners? This is an absolute hammer. Keep in mind, Blaze Reardon is a lefty. So I think Schreiber has him guessing maybe a little bit low, but how quick the top hand is and how he's able to trigger that right away into that top corner. He uses the roll actually to his momentum, right? Like, so he takes the defensive pressure and almost catapults himself out of that roll to get more power in this shot. This is a thing of beauty.
And what I love is the execution combined with the IQ. He's matched up on a short stick, and he doesn't like back up or wait. He doesn't let the defense get organized and structured behind it. He aggressively attacks it right away and gets that off before any slide can come. High IQ in terms of, like, wait, I have a short stick? Like, yeah, I'm going to the rack.
Yep, and I always think when you roll and you shoot immediately out of that roll, you can use the momentum of the roll. And it's more power. It's almost like a catapult.
Archers have drilled their last 3 shots. Nick Rowlett won the face-off. 10 to shoot. Scott dispossessed. That was rookie on rookie. Woodward with the caused turnover. Scott on the ride gets hacked by Dobson. Still loose. And it's Minikis with it. Possession change, so 52 to shoot. Byrne uses about 3 seconds and dunks it with his off right hand.
Beautiful identification by Byrne. Hasek wisely plays him as a heavy left-handed player. So after Minikis picks up this ground ball and swings it, Hasek's sitting on his left. And Byrne goes to the right hand, one hand scoop shot here. This wraparound bouncer.
When Hasek decided to close out his left, he opened up the gate, right? He said, here it is. Here's the gates open. But Josh Byrne is so good shooting one-handed with his right. I honestly think if you asked Josh Byrne to do that two-handed, he probably would have missed the cage.
Or he'd say, can I shoot a two-handed, left-handed backhand?
Backhand, exactly. The one-handed, right-handed shot is something he's way more comfortable with.
Here's a stalemate. Sisselberger and Rowlett. These guys have taken now all 14 face-offs against each other.
Sisselberger, the wrestler from Lehigh, in orange, should have the advantage here.
Flags everywhere.
Rowlett's going to be
goes
flagged.
down, and while Nick,
99 in white,
while
watch him.
Nick was in the stalemate, his brother Jack gets called.
1 minute, cross check to the back.
He didn't like what was going on with little brother.
Embellishment here, or is this legit? You make the call.
This is a couple of Tar Heels here. Rowlett lays out Marr, or at least encourages him to the ground.
Yeah, that's a dive.
I think it's a dive. He got him a little high originally, but
Marr sold that for sure.
he knows it was sold too. He's not happy about that.
Seller's market.
Yeah, that's how he
Seller's
thinks.
market on a Sunday. Surprised Matty Palin bought that.
Well, you heard Andy Towers' thoughts.
And this is a good power play unit by Utah. I mean, they're second in the league at 38%. They've got passers, they've got shooters, so it's like deal with Tom Schreiber with the skip pass. Trey LeClaire, much underrated from the outside. Obviously O'Keefe at that top left. This is a problem.
And Bates, one of the best schematic coaches in the league.
Behind the back, Ambler from the slot. Chaos, by the way, about they're fourth in PK, about 70%.
You don't see a ton of that from Schreiber, right? Behind the backs up top.
It opens a passing lane there, Kark. The beautiful
With a
pass.
behind the back, skip it to O'Keefe. That shot was deflected on the way.
They're slick, they're unselfish, they have range, they can finish inside.
I may press out on this group just to throw them out of the rhythm.
Ambler spins it through Ament at X. No look, skip. Schreiber for 2! Stamps it top left corner. 102.
It's like he's got a magnet to that top corner. He's hammering it, RB.
It's all about the skip pass as it gets to Ament. Freeze it right here. This is his read, so he's looking at this defender right here. He's seeing which way he rotates. Once he shades a little bit to his right, he knows the skip pass is going to open up. That little shade by Ray frees up the skip pass to Schreiber.
He's owning this corner. Blaze Reardon, the lefty. Off stick, side high. You see the toe right by the line.
Cark, that shot, I could hear it hit the net on the sideline. It snapped. It snapped the upper
Drew's
corner.
calling it out at 102. The speed is frightening, but what makes it even more difficult to deal with is how quick he gets it off.
It's the release.
He caught that off the skip pass, and in one motion, he snapped that at hyperspeed.
Lefty goalie has
Zero
chance to make that. Zero chance to make that save.
It's getting physical. Will Bowen delivered a big hit. We got a delayed penalty here coming against the Chaos.
Archer's energy level is where it needs to be.
Way downtown. Moore took the shot, and
he's hurt.
Yeah,
he is hurt. Seriously,
he
he's hurt.
Hit by McKay after letting it go.
He's holding his shoulder, it looks like.
Yeah, this is bad.
Chaos, 55, 1 minute, unnecessary roughness.
That flag is from earlier.
Yeah, that's not on that play. That's
The flag is off the face-off wing. This is bad. This means Grant Amon's now going to have to move to attack for the Archers, likely.
after the release.
Or
there's the hit that draws the flag.
McKay getting comfortable in the sin bin. He's spent a lot of time there the last couple weeks. The Archers going back to the power play. So Matt Moore heads to the sideline. And Chris Bates power play back on the field. They scored with that long distance one from Schreiber to tie the game at 7. That's Fields. He skips it. LeClaire, one more. Ament saved by Reardon. 38 left.
that's where Blaze is a little different, Drew. He plays that more like a hockey goalie. Just tries to seal up, use the blocker on his gloves.
LeClaire's a threat from range. So is Schreiber. O'Keefe steps in. LeClaire picks it up off the carpet. 20 seconds left on the McKay penalty. Fields behind the back.
This is fun to watch.
I mean, these guys, it's like an all-star game.
I'm just sitting here, my head's spinning. I'm like, I'm almost in a trance.
That's why I want to press out if I'm the defense. You got to throw him out of the rhythm.
And there's the turnover.
Moving forward, too, what does this mean for Utah if Grant Ament has to stay at attack? Well, Grant Ament's been able to feast as a midfielder because he's attacking short sticks, and he's gotten into a groove, and they're not sliding to him this season like they have in the past, right? They're forcing him because of his assist totals in the past. Like, you're a passer. We're not going to slide to you.
And that's what they have the option of bumping LeClaire down as well. So
Yes.
they have some positional flexibility
but that's
there.
the question for Bates.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to do here? Do you want to keep Ament and keep that thing going on midfield, or do you have to put him in for Matt Moore?
Yeah, LeClaire played attack at Ohio State. There's
And
Scott.
he's on the field right now at attack, so
Yep.
there's your answer.
Good piece inside there defensively by Archers.
Minikis. Dobson makes the save. That'll reset the shot clock to 32, and Carolina wins the back up narrowly. 5 saves for Dobson.
Great job holding that near pipe.
Minikis flips it back to Scott, bounces it past Dobson. Chaos back in front. The rookie's got 2 goals in the first half.
It looked like it was chaos early. Utah and Tom Schreiber absolutely hammering corners for Chris Bates. Had a thing or two to say. There's been a lot of rookies stepping up in 2024. The Chaos have one at number 15. Rutgers' Ross Scott has a thing to say.
Oh, I know. I was just like,
All right, we have a challenge. The Archers challenging the last goal because they claim that they won the run out. Closest to the ball when it goes out of bounds. This was Minikis from the Chaos racing, Piper Bond from the Archers. You make the call here, Kark. What do you think?
They're not going to overturn this, and they shouldn't. Right now, he's got the inside track,
Yeah.
Chaos. That is not going to be overturned. That's going to cost Chris Bates a timeout.
Good effort from Bond.
Yeah, it was a great effort. From that angle, it looks like it could be there, but from the first angle that we saw, Minikis has the inside track.
you think back in terms of just Archer's lore, right? They win the championship last year because of the Marr run out late in the game against Water Dogs.
Yeah.
All right. Can we take a shot after use it or lose it, you know?
Listen to Matt Palin.
Yeah,
Let me talk to you.
Brian
Yes.
Kavanaugh might as well take a shot. They're going to lose the timeout in the second half anyway.
Actually, we probably have time. What's up?
Say that sun comes out here. It is smoking hot and humid today.
Hang on a second.
One thing to add, Matt Moore out of the observation tent. He's got his helmet back on. Chris Bates telling me he can go to Trey Leclerc or Grant Amont and attack.
And I'm standing next to Jacko. Nothing
For Utah.
stupid. Nothing stupid. Nothing.
We need DJ Ralphie Ralph to cut the music.
During the break, the last run out was reviewed behind the Archer's goal. Correct call was made. The goal stands. We'll face off.
By the way, wouldn't it be great to have Matt Palin and Andy Towers just have a podcast or something?
That would be
just
great.
rehash everything that happened the previous week. I'd listen to
It wouldn't lack energy.
that. That's for sure. Love how Matt Palin flips the hat around when he's looking at tape, when he's watching TV, as he says.
Towers would walk into the podcast all pumped up after doing bicep curls.
Live from Ocean Pride. We got a sponsor.
5 minutes left in the second quarter. It's Carolina by 1. This has been a great, great first half, especially considering what happened yesterday. A couple of lopsided first halves. This has been a lot of fun.
Been great. Trey Leclerc back at attack, too. We don't know him as an attackman in the pro game, but played exclusively attack pretty much at Ohio State for Nick Myers on that right wing.
Quint gave us that good news that Moore is out of the tent, so we'll see if we see number 11 in orange and blue.
Yeah, he's got a towel around his neck. I mean, I would be shocked if we see him again today. You'll see more runs from Dyson Williams, the rookie.
He's got his helmet on, right, Q? Right behind you?
He does.
Archers take the shot clock violation. Yeah, that's a good point, though. Dyson Williams does dress this week, his second professional game, number 51, the rookie out of Duke.
He can score.
A little bit. 212 goals at Duke.
Yeah, just one game played so far this season, but you like what the makeup of what he could bring to that offense on that left side coming in from the midfield position.
And I think it has to come from the midfield because you have O'Keefe and Connor Fields at attack. That'd be a logjam if you put him at attack, lefty. Right now, he can't be the answer for an injured Matt Moore.
You know, you think of Ambler, the only true lefty they run out of the midfield.
Oh, at midfield for sure. He's a good solution.
Schreiber obviously very two-handed. He could play either side.
Dobson up to 6 saves. That was a clean one on Byrne. And the outlet to Marr. Here's Tom Schreiber. Finds Ament running out of the box. With a head of steam down the alley, O'Keefe takes the shot. It was almost like a hook shot. Ament with the backup.
And that's why you keep Ament at midfield. When you pair him with Schreiber, you're pretty much guaranteed for Ament to have a short stick matchup. And his ability to attack from any part of the field. Here he's inverting against Resch.
O'Keefe another look. Reardon kicks it aside. O'Keefe, what a ground ball on the rebound. Now Schreiber twisters away from Rowlett. Leclerc, lots of space. Way too much. It'll be a 1 for Trey Leclerc. Even when he's playing attack, he can stretch it from outside.
Yeah, he smokes this one. And when you watch him throughout his college days, his signature position in the offense at Ohio State was time and room with a righty rip ever since his freshman year. He's played transition, and you see the giddy up too. Like, there's so much power here, Ryan. He catches this in the momentum of 1, 2, 3 steps and a snap.
Yeah, everything is beautiful. The only criticism is just the discipline to have that last plant foot above the 2-point arc.
A lot like yesterday when we knew Graham Bundy had that awareness, right? Like, he took the steps back a little bit to get the 2. I think he just said, well, maybe I'm shooting on the best goalie in the world. Maybe I need to get in a little bit more and get a 1 rather than gamble on a 2.
Yeah, I mean, the long 1, though, he's right inside the 2-point arc.
That's a shot you would never see in the NBA today. Mid-range jumper. Here's Fields trying to spring free. Williams passes O'Keefe. Reardon makes the save on the doorstep. McKay cleans up the ground ball like a vacuum. 8 saves for Blaze Reardon, plus a goal.
Tough
Chaos
turnover
give it
there,
right
Drew.
back.
That's a tough turnover, Drew.
That's good hustle by Schreiber, 26 in orange. Best midfielder in the world. That's kind of an unsung play there where he rides McKay into that turnover.
Under 2 minutes left until halftime. Amen attacks. Now it's Fields. He has dominated this matchup against Newman. Had 2 goals, 2 assists in the first. That's an illegal screen against O'Keefe.
Potential numbers here on a sub.
Chaos move, and McKay dangerous in transition. Sharp angle, Ty Kurtz.
I didn't like that shot because he stepped downfield, right? Like, if you want to beat Dobson, who's one of the best goalies in the world, you got to catch that ball and increase your angle, not decrease it.
Chaos will take their use it or lose it. Timeout can only bring 2 with you to the second half. And we will listen in to Andy Towers' huddle.
That we have that we can run. Do you want to run that, or do you want to run our offense?
Let's run the look.
Okay.
Either look. There's no saying we're going to get.
All right. So let's go with this one. Okay. Ross Scott, Bernie, KJ, Dauber, Knobber, Tice Kurtz. Remember, the ball goes around like this. It goes through KJ up through Dobson. As Dobson starts to release it, KJ starts to trickle in. Once the ball gets to Ty Kurtz, KJ bursts at Ty Kurtz. If Ty doesn't have him, he goes to Ross Scott. You'll down to support Ross Scott. In the process of the ball going around, Dauber's just sort of.
Oh, man. We lost Andy Towers' mic. Is this first time in PLL history Andy Towers, we can't hear him?
There's just a lot of moving parts here. There's a lot of moving parts here. When, so far, you've put up 8. Right, again, your last 4 games, 8, 10, 6, and 7. You got 8 so far in this first half. I'd stick with what's working in that 2-man game on the left side, that 2-man game behind, where Ross Scott has generated some leverage.
Good things happen when Josh Byrne touches the ball, too.
I think you got KJ out there, Kyle Jackson, a big little with him and Josh Byrne, or just let Dobson go one-on-one.
You hear the pinging of the pipe. That's Blaze Reardon on the other side. Watching as his Chaos try to take the lead again. Tied at 8. Knobloch! Oh! Pinging it upright, 90.
You like that? Well, we don't know if they executed the play because we didn't hear the end of it, but just like they drew it up, Kark. Yeah. Just like they drew it up.
When we were scouting guys for the draft, the more I watched Shane Knobloch, the more he reminded me of Mike Chanichuk, right? Like his ability to go 2 hands in the quick release. I thought that time he did a fantastic job on Robbins in terms of feeling that defensive pressure and not bringing his stick back too far. You can only do that when you have powerful wrists, though. If you have to bring the stick back to get the torque from the hips, you're going to get trail checked.
It's Knobloch's cradle into release.
Yes.
Rowlett straight off the draw. Good trail check from the Archers. If we had heard the end of Andy Towers' huddle there, maybe he would have said,
give it to Knobloch.
Hey, Knobber, sprint down the alley and just rip something real sleazy, maybe? That could be an adjective to describe that shot. That was filthy. First goal for the rookie. He was the 4th pick in the draft.
Yeah, it is best week in San Diego.
Taking the last shot here. Chaos. Differential's what, 2 seconds? Coach, nice design play. Super simple, that last goal.
I watched yesterday's games. I know what you guys are talking about. Nothing too confusing, right?
Not calculus. Not calculus.
Simple. No, simple.
Keep it ninth grade math.
Love that. Trigonometry.
Andy Towers' team in front. This has been an offensive awakening for the Chaos. One more and they're into double figures in the first half after they've been struggling the last few weeks, on this end at least. Here's Byrne, chopping the feet. He's got the short stick matchup against Bond, saved by Dobson. Just a few ticks left. Takes us to halftime, and what a first half it was. 3 ties, no lead changes, 9-8. Their defensive efficiency, though, on pace to be best in PLL history. It's how they've stayed in the mix at 3 and 4. And they are set up well here in the second half, leading by 1 as we start the third quarter.
My issue with that, Drew, is like, I don't know if they're built necessary for like a shootout, right? This is outside of their comfort zone. Can they sustain this offensively?
Meanwhile, the Archers, they're good right here. Sisselberger owned the stripe in the first half, 14 for 18. Against Nick Rowlett here again, and that's scooped up by Graham Hossack, and he starts the break. With that short shot clock after the face-off win, sharp angle shot, Reardon kicks it away, now 4 away from 1,000 for his PLL career.
Looks like he soaked that one on his knee. He's hobbling behind the cage. Good news for the Chaos. You know you have Blaze in the second half, but an offense that's playing probably its best half of all of 2024.
One thing to note here, guys, Matt Moore, the shoulder injury in the first half. He was in the tent for a little bit. Came back out, was wearing his helmet. Didn't see him again afterward. There's Brian Minikis, who scores for Carolina, and they are into double figures. We'll keep an eye on 11 in orange and blue.
Yeah, what I love about Minikis here is he runs out of daylight, but he puts on the brakes and then works and weaves his way back underneath and in front of the cage. So you see this dodge down the alley right here. There's no space. But his nifty footwork, he's able to break down. You see Conor Marr go for that trail check, 31 in orange. He breaks down and then works his way back upfield. Quick glance, do I have time? Yes, I do, and then he buries it.
It's almost like he slams on the brakes, right? This is a guy, one of the fastest straight line dodgers in the league, along with a guy like Michael Sowers. To hit the brakes and then to go upfield and change your hands. I think one of the most underrated pieces to Brian Minikis' game is how two-handed he is.
That's an S dodge, and the key defensively is to push him behind the net a little harder.
Schreiber gets to his left hand. Reardon goes low to make another save.
He soaked another one. Look at him. He's feeling it, man. They're throwing body blows to Blaze right now.
Well, Q, that's what you talked about earlier, right? Kind of like a hockey goalie when he makes those low saves.
Yeah, he'll seal it up. Instead of trying to get his stick head to the offside low, he just drops his right hand in almost a blocker
Beautiful
position.
two-man Schreiber to Leclerc, who's playing attack with Moore on the sideline.
And I don't think Blaze right now can approach a shot off of ball movement the way he wants because he's hobbled, Ryan.
It's just a gorgeous two-man game here by Schreiber and Leclerc. So here you got the two players involved defensively. You're going to see a little screen here by Leclerc, and then what I want you to notice is all of this space is then going to be vacated post this pick. So they're going to set this up. Leclerc's going to set that pick and then slip it, and they've cleared out that entire side. That little pump by Schreiber holds the defense. That pump, and then the touch allowing Leclerc to run underneath and into it.
Yeah, it's the pump, but also the way that he pumps, he's selling the middle of the field to go to the opposite side, too. So that deception gets the defense to shift one way, and he counters with the pass down to that backside. I think he's hurting, though. Quint, I think Blaze is not himself right now. The last two shots prior to that goal soaked it right on the knee.
He got hit in the shins early in that first half, too. I'm just interested in both teams. 22 minutes to play, okay? It's 93. It feels like an absolute swamp down here. Guys came out of the locker room at halftime covered with sweat. Utah Archers laid on the field. this game is like a marathon, okay? It's going to be really interesting to see how these teams handle this intense heat and humidity.
And on top of that, Archer's being down an offensive player with Matt Moore.
And that's significant too, because Trey Leclerc could be a swing guy and play both sides of the field. So if you're going to play transition, you're -1 with Leclerc at attack.
Here's Amen against the shorty Resch. Leclerc has 2 goals. Good skip pass. O'Keefe didn't see the shot clock winding.
You never see that, Carr.
You never see that. He didn't handle it the right way. If Mac O'Keefe handles that the right way, he's shooting behind the arc.
There's Byrne. He had a big first half with 2 and 2. Behind the back, McKay.
Yeah, O'Keefe bobbled that just for a moment, and that shows you like how unforgiving. The windows in this league, they're there. If you don't convert, they close quickly.
He's going to go after O'Keefe. O'Keefe's trapped right now. I think McKay's going to hold this matchup.
McKay, 55 in white, trying to make something happen. Just dumps it toward the middle. Kurtz corrals it.
Instead of going yourself, get in a 2-man game to get Leclerc or get O'Keefe trapped on Byrne.
Here's Dobson dodging down the righty alley. Now Kurtz, the bouncer. Dobson makes the save.
And that's just a waste of a possession.
Yes.
You've got to be ruthless if you're Chaos. You've got to go at O'Keefe there.
And in no way, shape, or form does Mac O'Keefe ever want to get, as you see, an over and back caught on the defensive end. Make him pay for being back there.
I mean, the reality was McKay was gassed.
How about the reaction from Bates after that over and back? Ray lets it fly. Dobson saw it all the way.
That's fine if you're gassing McKay, then just go set a pick. Go get involved in a 2-man game. Get O'Keefe on Dobson. Get him on Byrne. Get him on anybody.
So we talked about how this could be a goalie duel. That's what it was the first time these teams matched up back in Philly when it was 9-7. They both have 10 saves today, Reardon and Dobson. Maybe the 2 front runners for goalie of the year. Here's Ament, lets it rip. That was for 1.
That's smoke for Ament. 97 miles per hour. I mean, you don't think of Grant Ament with step downs around 100.
Get him in the fastest shot. 4 minutes into the third. Chaos by 1. Schreiber.
You know, we need categories in that fastest shot. You got like the heavyweight champ, the big guys.
I like where you're going with this.
You need Ament with like the featherweight division.
Who else would be in the featherweight?
Jeff Teat.
Bundy? Bundy count? Or
He's a middleweight.
He's a middleweight, yeah. Wow, what a check.
Incredible check by Rowlett. Just takes it away from Ament.
You know what's so good about the way Jack Rowlett does his over the heads? He doesn't leave his feet, so he's still in position to recover.
Geddes has 1 goal already. That one bounces wide.
You know what I mean by that? Like he's still in position to recover. A lot of guys will leave their feet, jump over to get an over the head. If they miss, they're done.
He does a good job typically of throwing it when the player is not in a threatening position.
Knobloch testing the shorty Marr.
It's a good hedge by Woodward.
We'll spin it through X. Here's Kyle Jackson. Scored twice in the first quarter. A couple of highlights. Now Byrne. Shot clock into single digits. Knobloch takes the shot and goes top shelf again. Well, they took him in the top 5 for a reason.
And rookies are coming to the party. At the end of the second quarter, his college teammate and Chaos teammate Ross Scott hit one from behind the cage. Shane Knobloch, 4th overall, answering for the Chaos. This offense is alive. The snap of a wrist in the top corner's got him up by 2.
That's Jared Newman under the helmet. I think he was talking about Blaze Reardon, who's now out. He is in the injury tent. You saw him limping around. Austin Kaut plays for the 4th time this year.
I'm not shocked that he's in the injury tent. You just saw the way he was moving. I mean, that guy gets hit with shots all the time, but these were different, right? You just saw that he was tentative to move.
He got tagged in the toe. He got tagged in the toe
as well. Wow.
And they're looking at the toe right now. And you hope they can get him back on the field and protect that toe.
You know, Kaut's been good when he's called upon. For the season, he's at 55%.
No save there, though, as the Archers pull within 1.
Well, he got the first one. He stared down a Schreiber missile in transition, but he just wasn't able to cleanly secure it. This is a beautiful feed by Fields, hitting Schreiber in stride.
That was a great save, that first one.
Great save, just wasn't able to corral it. And then just Johnny on the spot, O'Keefe picks up the loose change.
He was crashing the boards, O'Keefe was, as soon as that shot was released.
Hey, Quint, when you were playing goalie, you ever take one to the toe like that?
Like every day.
And did it keep you out of games?
No, never that bad. It's his right foot.
I mean, these shots are moving at 100 miles an hour. They could break a toe.
It's his offside foot. You're generally going to get hit more on your offside shin,
That's your
thigh,
lead foot, right?
and foot because, well, offside shots you're gonna probably step more than rely on your stick. So it's his right side. Lacrosse ball weighs 4 ounces. It's a lot heavier than people at home probably realize.
Good job by Kaut stepping out there. Whew. If that had gone.
Q, based on what you were seeing with Blaze and when he walked into the medical tent, you think we'll see him again?
I think 100% he's coming back in the game right now.
Credit Austin Kaut, huh? I mean, multiple times this season, stepping up as he trots off the field there. But
yep, there he is.
Blaze is back on. Kaut is the team DJ at rivaling.
Watch
DJ
your
Ralphie
mouth.
Ralph.
Stop. That's chess and checkers, man.
Ralphie Ralph is in a category of his own there. Ralphie Ralph hooked up Kark with a remix.
Yep. Bad habits.
Oh, he'll play a combo. He'll mix. You give him 2 songs. He'll tie them together.
That was Sergio Perkovic on the shot. First time we've said his name today. 30 in white and red. Nice catch from LeClaire. Couple of goals today. O'Keefe faked himself out, hit the deck, and Fields runs it down with 30 seconds on the shot clock.
Second time he's lost his footing.
Yeah. Yep, earlier attempting that too.
Amen. O'Keefe.
These guys move the ball so well. I mean, as a play-by-play guy, how do you even track the speed?
You gotta go by the elbow pads. Who's wearing what? You know O'Keefe is wearing blue. There's Dyson Williams.
Be interested to see the differential in passes or touches at this offense when they're clicking. The ball is moving.
130 passes for the Archers today, 124 for the Chaos.
You know what's crazy? When you look at them statistically, a shocking stat for the Archers offensively is they're 6 in the league out of 8 in assists. I would never have pegged that. Watching them play and the way they move the ball.
Yeah, I think a big part of that is the emergence of Grant Ament at midfield and teams' willingness to say, okay, just beat us yourself. And he has time and time again.
Chris Bates saying go. If they're not going to slide, shoot and score.
Ament entered with 11 goals, 7 assists on the season. He was in college at Penn State, one of the best passers we've ever seen.
And you combine that with the emergence of Fields.
Minikis lefty shot. Catches iron and buries it.
Now we're seeing inside Minikis, outside Minikis, and the speed in which he shakes the defense on this move is terrific. Brian Minikis, when I watched him in his grad transfer year after spending 4 years at Colgate, went to Georgetown, just owned matchups. And now, if you have Ross Scott behind as a quarterback, Minikis, who played a ton of attack his entire career, can play quarterback from up top. You have that 1-2 punch in the balance.
He's one of the quickest guys in the league, can seemingly gain leverage on a short stick. After 1 or 2 steps, he's that fast.
Minikis now with 2 goals, one of 5 Chaos players with multiple goals. Minikis, Byrne, Jackson, Knobloch, and Scott all have 2.
In a 10-yard dash, I don't think like explosiveness first step, he's as quick as Michael Sowers, but in a 10-yard dash, I think he could beat anyone in the league. Minikis.
His teammate Geddes might have a word on that one.
Geddes in a 40.
Leads back to 2 for the Chaos. 2:30 to play in the third.
This is the guy that I think they need to get going.
He was so dynamic in Notre Dame. Dobson trying to get to that left hand. And that is a turnover.
It's the second time, though, he's held onto the ball too long. Like, you think he might have a shot, and then he holds it another 2 or 3 beats.
And I'd rather see him sweep across the middle of the field, his left hand. That to me is when he's his most dangerous.
Wasting no time.
Did you see the net move a little on that one?
Shot was from Fields.
I don't know if it was the back of the net.
They're going to give a full reset.
I said right. You're alone. Hey, you're good.
Claire on the restart.
You're good. Ball. You're good. Hey, we're good. Hey, 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 pick left. Hey, you're good. You're good. Gotta go. Gotta go.
Schreiber with a step.
He wanted that one. He worked so hard for it, too, right? Like, he won the matchup and then was able to get back to the middle of the field.
And Reardon wanted to slide.
What a stop.
Another save from Blaze. That's his 11th. He's 2 from 1,000 for his career.
Here comes Newman.
I think if they led him a little bit more with that pass.
Newman hasn't scored yet this year. He's only taken 2 shots in the chaos.
That's a bad turnover right
Give it
there.
away. A chance for the Archers on the run. O'Keefe missed it.
I thought when Blaze left his feet, I thought he was closer to the ball on the shot when it went out of bounds.
Well, we learned earlier that that is challengeable. Fields trying to back down Newman. He gets tossed aside, and he did it again. Hat trick for Connor Fields. Add it to the highlight reel.
Did I tell you he's Houdini? He has no business scoring this goal. He's dead to rights.
Hey, Newman is sitting on the left-handed rollback. And Connor Fields goes with that hold, that hook. So he'll roll right here. Watch as Newman holds and whips him around. Fields just goes with it.
He goes with it, but he loses his base.
Yeah,
like, this is insane.
He shoots this from his knees, backhanded.
He had to sneak it around McNulty, too?
He's got a vision of where the goal is and often doesn't need to look. It's incredible
It's like a
spatial
sixth
awareness.
sense.
You know, a few weeks back I said it, and you're too young, Drew, to understand who this is, but Gumby, he's Gumby with pig grease all over.
I'll take your word for it.
Short ball down.
Big check by LeClaire on the ride. That'll be a flag as Jackson picks it back up, and the Chaos can take their last shot.
It's a bad penalty.
Jackson hits the pipe. It'll be Caroline on the power play.
Yeah, 30 seconds. Archer's foul, number 44. 30-second technical. Hold.
And a subtle little play here is I really like how Jackson took a quick shot as we take one more look at this hold. But Jackson wisely goes right to the cage and shoots it, given how they're facing off.
Face off
That's
every
what I'm
quarter,
getting
remember.
to.
Great point,
a
Ryan.
quick shot, because they've got to get one here in the next seven seconds.
Like 7 seconds is worth something.
Good idea. Poor execution on those last 8 seconds. The Chaos will start the fourth quarter with a 22-second power play, but we will face off to begin the last 12 minutes. Connor Fields, he's done it again. 3 goals, 2 assists, and some ones that just make you say. Here at Homewood Field, Chaos lead by 1, and they start the fourth quarter on the power play. But here in the PLL, we start with a face-off.
That's a huge win
Massive.
by Nick Rowlett.
Nick Rowlett, he had been getting dominated all day. He was only 5 for 26 until that one. Gives the Chaos a chance to call timeout with 17 seconds left on the power play.
Quint once said, all face-offs aren't created equal. That is the perfect scenario of why that phrase is so true.
You don't
have it, stay in the 3-3.
17 seconds left. 17.
And,
time.
and just make sure that we understand in that 3-3, if we get to that, don't force it and split if we don't have it. You guys right? So those guys, time your shift to when Ross goes through X. That's when KJ steps down, Dauber's over, gets to Josh. Okay, if they play you aggressively, just throw it early to Nauber. No big deal. Don't start with it and then just go right into it. We're gonna go. We'll go. It's gonna go down to Ross, back to you. But time it. Don't be rushed. And if we don't get it, we play in the 3-3 and identify where they're taking away 3.
How long is left in the action?
About 17 seconds. Yeah. Okay. Yep. No, he's Nobby's to you. Up, you're catching it. Back to Nobby, back and in. Run it through X. Here we go. Ass on 3. 1, 2, 3. Ass.
So Ross Scott is the trigger guy. He's probably going to have some sort of carry. They'll roll Kyle Jackson off. They want to swing it to the left side to set up Byrne and Dobson. So all the action, the window dressing, will be on the right side between Knobloch, and Ross Scott. You have to say his full name. And then you swing it to the left side to Kyle Jackson, who becomes a distributor.
You know what I would do if I was Utah? Because of the scenario, quick timeout in 17 seconds, I'd shut one of these guys off and blow up the play.
They're going to slow play Ross Scott.
Archers have the worst penalty kill in the league. 53%. They're about Chaos third at around 35%. No look feed. It works to perfection. Ross Scott with the dunk. Josh Byrne the assist.
He is passing better than I've ever seen. The double deuce is dealing, Ryan.
It's a beautiful skip by Josh Byrne. They're going to swing it to him. He's the top middle of this 3-3. Watch Ross Scott. He's behind the cage. He's going to go all the way around. So when we get to Josh Byrne, freeze it right here. He's reading right here. He's reading Hasek. So you're going to get Knobloch. He's going to fly up here, and Hasek is going to react to that. And that's going to free up that skip lane right through there to Ross Scott. So Josh Byrne's reading Hasek. He notices, he goes out with Knobloch. That frees up the skip lane to Ross Scott.
I think this Chaos offense, all-time high in terms of season performance, I think, today. We're seeing the best version of this offense we've seen the entire season.
And I think a big part of that is just running the ball more through Josh Byrne offensively.
That's what I said earlier in the third quarter, right? Like, just let him do his thing because he's shown you he's an elite passer.
This is their best output since week 1 in Albany. And Ross Scott, by the way, his first career hat trick. That was his third goal. How do the Archers respond with that abbreviated shot clock? They turn it over. And it's 14 turnovers for Chris Bates' team. Winning the possession at the stripe, Sisselberger 75%. Here's Perkovic. They've got those two tall Notre Dame midfielders with Perkovic and Dobson both suiting up today. Knobloch dispossessed. Picked up by John Robbins. And here comes Connor Marr. Archers can score as quickly as anybody, and this game has been tight throughout. After a 4-0 start for the Chaos, Archers got it to 6-6. Behind the back feed, LeClaire snares it, gets it out, Schreiber. Trying to hum that ball around, the prototypical Archers ball movement. Ambler and Schreiber run the two-man. There's Fields, shot from distance. Ament with the backup.
I think if there's anybody else in cage, Schreiber would have shot that from 2.
Ament goes quickly and beats Blaze. Back to a 1-goal game.
Wow. I was talking about Minikis' 10-yard speed. How about this guy? Shot out of a cannon. Grant Ament with the first step and then the acceleration. So it's a little bit of a stutter. It's a subtle stutter into pure gas.
And this is why where are the assists from Archers? Like, you're not going to slide to that? You're not going to slide to that?
That's the answer. You got to start sliding to this guy.
You got a question mark, you got an inside roll. That's an exclamation point, running straight up
He
the
has
field.
more unassisted goals halfway through this season than he did in any other season.
How much more do you need to see a guy just win a one-on-one matchup and finish the shot?
Wouldn't you want a double pole here? Schreiber and Ament.
Archers tie it up. Trey Leclerc with a hat trick. Looks pretty comfortable playing attack, doesn't he?
His positional flexibility and comfort at both attack and midfield. I mean, he rips this in transition. Geddes slides upfield. He's got a ton of space, and he just hammers.
Stick's low, right? Stick is low, like it's a fake and an overhand rip in one, but credit Chris Bates. The last 2 goals is why he's smarter than me. Because I would have said, just put Amen in for Matt Moore. No. Put Trey Leclerc down at that spot. Keep Amen, who just had an unassisted goal 2 goals ago, as the Dodger, and put Trey in there. And don't disrupt the offense.
And Quint, the issue is if you double pole and you put a short stick on Leclerc, then you're going to deal with a 2-man game between him and Schreiber. If you double pole and put a short stick on O'Keefe, he doesn't need a lot of airspace to get his hands free. So it's really kind of a pick your poison with no good solution.
2 goals in 16 seconds for the Archers to tie this game up. And that's a shot clock reset to 32 for the Chaos. By the way, Clark, smarter than I am, not smarter than me. I'm surrounded by Princeton guys, so someone had to correct that.
What did you just say? Smarter than what?
Don't worry about it.
It's smarter than me.
I would have said that. Yes!
Oh, Dobson, he's on the board,
Yes!
baby. Welcome to the party. Eric Dobson, his 5th goal of his rookie season.
He shoots better than you.
Than I do.
I mean, he just shrugs off this defender. This is what I was calling for earlier. Sweep to your left hand, young man. And he's matched up against John Robbins, 5'9", 185. Eric Dobson, 6'5", 235.
Yeah, they're going after Robbins a little bit. Knobloch beat him earlier in the 2nd quarter, and then Dobson, you called it too. Get to the middle of the field. When you watch the tape of him at Notre Dame, that was his go-to move. Like, start on one high end and then sweep across the middle.
You saw Jules Henningberg on the sideline, too, acting as the assistant coach today, out with an injury.
Dobson from Jacksonville suburb. It's a young man who improved every single year at Notre Dame. From a dodging standpoint, from a shooting standpoint, from a passing standpoint, and I think right now it's just reactivating that clock in his head to pro-level speed.
There's Scott, another rookie. Great recovery on the stick check, Mason Woodward.
And I think, Quint, you bring up the point, too, because he's such a talent. Like, he doesn't have to change his game. Stick to what allowed you to be great, right? And then just maybe speed it up and understand that the ball's moving different. You don't have to change your dodging patterns.
If anything.
No, simplify, play to your strengths, and just speed it up just
If
a hair.
anything, he's going to have more one-on-one matchups that he saw towards the back half of his career at Notre Dame.
There goes Schreiber.
So
Tom Schreiber.
That's the issue if you short stick Leclerc. If you put a short stick on Leclerc, there's no ego there. It's not like he's going to magically turn into a Dodger. He's just going to get involved in a 2-man game for the reigning MVP. So there's the switch.
Don't switch. How about don't switch and make this team score?
I mean, the accuracy.
As ISOs. That's an amazing shot as he doesn't have much angle.
The
there.
accuracy on that is world class.
Not much of an angle, but the awareness to understand what hand the goalie is, too. And the margin for error. I mean, Blaze is a lefty goalie. If you look at 3 of his outside shots today, they're all to the opposite corner of Blaze's stick.
5 ties, no lead changes. Carolina took a 4-0 lead right out of the chute. And the Archers have yet to edge in front. As we approach 7 minutes left, this has been a fantastic game. Scott sliding around on the slick turf for two. It's Dobson. Man, there's that lefty hammer. 107. And Dobson made the save. Injured player is Kyle Jackson just outside the crease. Looks to be all right. That's 12 saves for Brett Dobson.
He's so good. He's the future, right? Like, the Blaze Reardon is the present in terms of masterful goaltending at the PLL level. That guy is the future along with Liam Entenmann.
This game's got playoff intensity from field level. Lots at stake here as the summer starts to wind down.
Just 2 weeks left after this one in the regular season. Denver and Salt Lake City. Schreiber trying to post up. LeClaire playing hangman with Rowlett. 6 to shoot. Schreiber looking to get it across the crease. They're saying
Might have been trying to deflect that off of Reardon and into the net.
Great call.
Like a hockey
What a smart play by Schreiber to get the fresh shot clock.
You know, Quint's talking about a lot at stake, playoff type game. If you're the Philly Water Dogs, Carolina wins this game, your season's toast.
Archers are in with a win. It would make them 5-2 and put them in a nice position to win the West. Chaos, meanwhile, could go to 500.
Is it crazy to say that O'Keefe looks a little off while he also has a hat trick?
Yeah, I think his footing is off, right? The way that he's releasing his shot with his footwork.
No hesitation, Reardon the save.
Man.
And that is his 1,000th career save.
He'll remember that one too because he soaked it after a game where he had to go in the medical tent, get his toe looked at.
Dick had hit him in the right hand. Not positive.
The crowd acknowledging the career achievement by Blaze Reardon.
9th ever to do it, 1,000 saves. So how about that day at the office for Big Blaze? You score the first goal of the game and you end up with your 1,000th career save. And you got some bruises to go home with as well. This is Knobloch, under 5 minutes, tie game. First round pick has scored twice already. Trying to beat Piper Bond. Good defense from the shorty. Kurtz, all kinds of space. And he cashes out. Chaos back in front.
They played Knobloch as a dodger. And the rookie used awareness and sixth sense to be the passer. Ty Kurtz has been quiet, filling in for Jules Henningberg. When they needed him most, he delivered on a hot day in Baltimore. We've got a dandy.
Welcome back to the PLL on ESPN, presented by Whirlpool. Welcome back to a just awesome lacrosse game. 15-14, we've had 5 ties and no lead changes. Andy Towers' Chaos team has been in front or tied throughout. The Archers are in with a win. They'd be 5-2 in good position to win the West. Meanwhile, the Chaos trying to get to 500 as Sisselberger goes to the jump shot off the face-off win. 28 to shoot.
How about the effort from Sis on that one, right? 50th shot for the Archers. I mean, this is an offense that's moving the ball at hyper speed, but just throwing a lot of rubber Blaze's way.
Reardon has made his 1,000th career save here in this fourth quarter. Also scored the first goal of the game. 4 minutes to play. Archers trying to tie or take the lead. Ambler, who's one of the few guys who's quiet today. 6 to shoot.
Shot clock, yeah.
Ament got to go in a hurry. Pass batted down. That was McNulty. And a turnover by Utah. They're 15th.
And stretching this to a 2-goal lead would be huge for Chaos, just given the Archers only have 4 2-pointers coming into the weekend, last in the league.
There hasn't been a single 2-pointer today, and it's 15-14. High-level execution.
Yeah, they only shoot 11% from deep.
There's Perkovic. Gives it up, Kyle Jackson.
I don't love the sense of urgency on this possession.
Little meandering, under 15 to shoot.
Limit your
You
options.
get one bite of the apple here.
Jackson goes to work. Feet in front, Byrne couldn't handle it. Archers have it.
It was just a little too early to take your foot off the gas pedal.
Hasek starts the break. Bond surveys.
Chris Bates
Yeah,
has got
I'm
two
calling
timeouts.
timeout up here in the booth.
Schreiber on the run. O'Keefe. They force him right. Rolls back to his left. Still outside the arc. It's Ambler. That's a one. Archers have the backup.
I wonder if he'll use it now, playing through that transition period.
Yeah, 26. There's still some meat on the bone.
I don't think so. Standing right behind him.
Here's Fields. Little space. Catches the iron. Beat Reardon. Not the pipe. And that is huge. Under 2 minutes. Here's Newman. Bernholtz. Now do you want to take your foot off the gas?
Now I would use a little of the clock here.
Use a lot of it.
Pipe shot. Unbelievable. The difference between winning and losing.
And the beauty of that for Chaos is they got the ball to the offensive end quickly, right? So they could get in their settled offense.
And I would almost call timeout now to set something up.
Towers has one in his back pocket. Oh, good defense from Utah. Kicked ahead. Knobloch scoops it.
Injury behind the play.
Oh, yeah, it's Kyle Jackson. Couple times he's been down in that same area.
And there was a withholding the ball call, which was the infraction as the ball got stuck in Jackson's stick. Here,
Procedure call. The ball gets stuck in the stick.
yeah, you can play without a stick, but you can see after Hasek dislodges the stick, the ball stays in there. So the play on situation as Jackson gets helped off the field, you hope he's okay. He's about as tough as they come.
He's taking a beating today.
You get kind of a pseudo timeout for the Archers.
And they have the ball with a minute left. About a 15-second difference, shot clock and game clock. Archers can tie it or take the lead if they score the first two ball of the day. Keep your eye on Fields. 3 goals and 2 assists. Same for Tom Schreiber today. Usual suspects. Fields slips. He's got the short stick matchup against Resch. No look feed. What a grab inside. Bodies hit the floor.
Be careful if you're the Chaos here. I wouldn't push anyone.
This is a mass of humanity just outside the crease. And it's Carolina ball.
Now you got to press out if you're Archers here. Yeah, you got to go right at the ball.
Here comes Schreiber. Geddes
Just throw
re-corrals
it to the offensive end.
You could call timeout anywhere in the field. There it is.
What Andy Towers does. He uses his final timeout.
If he doesn't call that time, if I'm Geddes, I'm playing 50-50 ball and trying to get into the offensive corner. That was dicey.
Yep. I think that's right.
Yeah, one huddle.
Hey, run it in. Hey, run it in. Jack, let's go. Minnow, you're going to pick the ball up, okay? Jack, far corner, right? Bo, far corner, Blaze in the net. Jared in the front, okay? Curtsy deep. Ross got in the middle. Birdie deep. Geddes, you're in the middle. Troy Ray, you're on the field.
8 seconds to clear.
8 seconds. You can turn and whip it up into the air. Yeah.
He wants Minikis with the ball. That's his fastest guy. I don't blame him, because if you get caught, and if it's a feet match, who's going to match those feet?
I would go Geddes there, just because if something happens, at least you got defensive personnel.
I know, but
decision making, probably Minikis better. Minikis better.
Minikis could probably handle pressure better.
Yeah.
Geddes gives you the defense, but Minikis gives you dealing with the double better.
Got it cleared in 8 seconds.
Just chuck it.
That's what he does. He gets it ahead to Troy Ray. There's the outlet.
Ball game. Chaos. Wow.
What a win for Carolina. We had 5 ties, but the Archers never led. And the Carolina Chaos with one of the best wins of the year, 15-14. ABC and on ESPN+. You got Boston, you got Maryland as the Whipsnakes try to make it a perfect homecoming weekend here in Baltimore. So for RB, Cart, Q down on the field, our entire crew led by Todd Jones and Brett Lancaster, I'm Drew Carter. Thanks for watching the PLL on ESPN. We'll see you over on the big network at 3 Eastern.